Hello everybody, my name is Evan Phillips, and today I'd like to talk about the left turning tendencies of your aircraft. Some of the sources I have here is the ACS, which is a good thing to follow along while you're studying and figure out just everything that's going to be on the test. The Private Pilot Oral Exam Guide, which is a good way to have definitions for most of the stuff in this ACS. It's a great study tactic. It's what I used. I also have the PHAK, the Pilot's Handbook of Aeronautical Knowledge, pulled up to give you the FAA terms of some of the left turning tendencies. So there are four of them. There is torque, spiraling slipstream, gyroscopic precession, and P factor. So let's talk about torque. In FAA terms, torque reaction involves Newton's third law of physics. For every action, there is an equal and opposite reaction. As applied to the aircraft, this means that the internal engine parts and propeller are revolving in one direction and equal force is trying to rotate the aircraft in the opposite direction. So, the way I remember this is if the aircraft's sitting there on the ramp and that propeller is turning, and you walked up with big strong metal hands and you were glued to the ground and you grabbed that propeller and stopped it, the aircraft would turn in the opposite direction that the propeller is turning. So this causes the aircraft to want to yaw to the left and kind of roll just a little bit when you're on high angles of attack and low airspeed. The next left turning tendency that we have is FAA terms corkscrewing effect of the slipstream or spiraling slipstream. So the high speed rotation of an aircraft propeller gives a corkscrew or spiraling rotation to the slipstream. At high propeller speeds and low forward speed, as in takeoffs and approaches to power on stalls, this spiraling rotation is very compact and exerts a strong sideward force on the aircraft's vertical tail surface. So there are many pictures online that would be very helpful to look at, but the airflow goes over the fuselage and hits the left side of the tail. This causes it to yaw to the left, which would result in you have to put some right rudder in to correct for it. The third one is gyroscopic action of the propeller or gyroscopic precession. So, before the gyroscopic effects of the propeller can be understood, it is necessary to understand the basic principle of a gyroscope. All practical applications of the gyroscope are based upon two fundamental properties of gyroscopic action: rigidity in space and precession. The one of interest for this discussion is precession. Precession is a resultant action or deflection of a spinning rotor when a deflecting force is applied to its rim, as can be seen in figure 549, which you don't have. When a force is applied, the resulting force takes effect 90 degrees ahead of it and in the direction of rotation. So, when your aircraft is turning and you do a abrupt climb, the top of the propeller is what's going to take the push, and 90 degrees ahead of it's where it's going to happen. So right here, 90 degrees ahead of it. So it'll cause it to yaw to the left a little bit. A good way to remember this is the fidget spinners. The fidget spinners in your hand, you spin them really fast and you poke it 90 degrees ahead of it is where you'll feel the dip. And a bicycle wheel, if you was to jack a bicycle wheel up, the same thing there. I've heard that tailwheel aircraft experience the most reactions to this because of their weight, but our aircraft gets it too, is affected by it too. Number 4, asymmetric loading of the propeller, P factor or propeller factor. P factors, you'll hear that a lot in aviation. Okay, so when an aircraft is flying with a high angle of attack, the bite of the downward moving blade is greater than the bite of the upward moving blade. This moves the center of thrust to the right of the prop disc area, causing a yawing moment toward the left around the vertical axis. So, as it said here, the descending blade gets a better bite than the ascending blade, causing the aircraft to yaw to the left. Put that right rudder in. You'll hear that a lot when you're trying to learn power on stalls. Back in all throughout, if you're not doing it, get some more right rudder in there to correct for it. So, that is the 4 left turning tendencies read directly out of the PHAK. If you have any other topics that you want me to talk about, just leave it in the comments section. Thank you for watching. Like, comment, and subscribe. Have a good day.